Okay, it's picking up my voice. All right, see?
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at that. That's my laugh.
All right.
Oh, that is cool. Okay, off we go. And, and yeah. So, so we had, I, yeah, well, SpaceX and the whole AI world in general is sprinting at rocket speed,
Huh. Yeah. Good.
and um, so they what they've found out is they crunch for power for AI data centers is so strong. In other words, they desire SpaceX and others. Okay, let's start over again.
Okay.
Yeah, so um, you know that to make AI work, you have to you need a lot of power.
Yes.
Power is in
That's
very short supply.
that's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you get power from? Well, SpaceX showed the way by buying mobile turbines that could generate power right in front of their data center. And they had 69 of them powering Colossus until they could get a gas plant that was abandoned, that was on their land, refurbished and running again.
That's a genius. Yes.
It's a genius move.
Huh.
But everybody has seen that move.
Of course. But he just didn't go asleep
No.
while that was going. He was thinking about the next move.
Yes, exactly. So he accumulated all those turbines before anyone knew there was going to be a crunch. So one thing he did is he signed a joint venture with Caterpillar, where they would build turbines, and 70% of the output of that joint venture company would go to him.
Uh-huh.
So they keep 30% for other customers, 70% went to him.
Uh-huh.
He also purchased a company that would get old aircraft engines, their aircraft turbines, and turn those into generators. And he's bought
You mean jet engines?
jet engines.
Yeah.
So that's, and so they're using that to generate power. They just give it some gas and have it turn um, a uh, a magnet that creates electricity, and that powers the data
All right.
centers.
Yeah.
So now everybody has seen that. So now there's a gold rush on for private jets. They're buying private jets and stripping the engines off of them.
Whoa.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the business now.
Ah.
People are buying private jets not to run them, but these corporations are using them to generate electricity.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it, right?
Yeah. So he led the way with that.
He showed them,
He
hey,
showed them the way.
he showed them the way.
And while he was showing them the way, he was getting all that he could possibly get before, they get themselves ready to start.
Yeah, so I guess we're not going to have a lot of extra private jets lying around anymore. So that gave me a huge laugh when I heard that, is to think that that's what they're doing now, is they're literally just tearing apart old jets and just using the engines for
They want to
electricity.
move before all of this. You used to be buying up transformers.
Yes, that's true. For years. Hundreds and hundreds of them. Nobody knew why, but he did. And then the other thing that was interesting about SpaceX is they just hit a record where they launched 2 Falcon 9s within 38 minutes of each other. Yes. So the cadence of how fast they're moving with their launches is constantly speeding up. They're getting faster and faster and faster at it. So
in the reusability.
There you go. There you go. That's what you need. If you have reusable vehicles, you'll have plenty of them to launch. Because you don't get rid of any of them when you fly. So
you got to increase on the pads.
Oh yes, they're definitely increasing them. You know, they're building now the new pads that are being built are not for Falcon 9. They're all for Starship. And
Starship is where the action is now.
Oh yeah.
Or where the future action would be.
Yeah. And there's 4 new ones going up at Cape Kennedy, out in Florida.
Yeah.
And there's one of them that is far along enough to where they are testing the actual tower and the arms on the tower that catch the Starship. They've been doing tests on those.
Yeah.
So they're in the process of commissioning it. So probably within another 6 months or so, we'll have our first fully working Starship pad out in Florida, and then there's 4 more lined up behind that. So yeah, they're kicking it up into high gear.
I've been hearing about the test. That the test isn't going to they're improving on the test.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that. Maybe
they're testing on their engines. Because I do know that they're trying to.
After they build, they gotta have static fire.
Oh yes, yeah. And so the amount of time from when the ship gets built to where it's flying is less and less. Yeah. The amount of time, they're trying to compress the amount of time it takes to test a rocket and prove that it's ready to fly. And so they've done a lot to make that way faster. I think this last ship that flew was one of the fastest that went through the testing cycle. I think it was like an 8-day cycle from cryogenic testing to static fire, which was considered super fast. It used to take weeks. And so I think eventually they'll get it down to a few days to qualify a ship. Because if you're going to they said they're going to be making a new ship every 3 days was his goal. You can't.
You got to speed up the time that they can get it out there.
Yeah, you've got to go much faster on your testing. You can't take 2 weeks to test it. So
that time has passed.
Yeah. So yeah. So they're making some good strides with that. They're moving along. And do you remember the other day we were talking about all these million satellites that SpaceX is going to put up for AI, and there's going to be 100,000 for Starlink.
Yeah.
So some people have objected because they're like, well, there's going to be so much stuff up there. Well, there's a company called Firefly that was made by a former SpaceXer.
Of course. Who else?
Yes. And they won a contract to deorbit satellites. they're going to have a garbage truck
All
up
right.
there to
Yeah.
go up
Clean up.
and clean up all the old satellites that are not working. And so this contract that they got came from the U.S. Department of War, so formerly Department of Defense.
Government. Yeah.
So the government is actually going to pay them to test out a new technology to approach, examine, and remove spacecraft that are nearing the end of their operational life. So that's another problem that's going to be solved. And the reason why I am not surprised about this is because space is so valuable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pouring in trillions of dollars is going to go into space.
So you can't have a lot of junk in space.
Exactly. They're not going to allow all of that valuable hardware to be taken out by garbage. So that's the thing. It's going to be cleaned up. And even Elon a few weeks ago says that he was thinking about that, about adjusting Starship so that it could go up there and clean out some of the debris that's already there. So it's really good. And let's see what else is happening out there. Well, you remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you about a Chinese lab or actually a Chinese researcher. He wasn't a researcher at the time, he was a student. He came up with a way of simulating large numbers of people very cheaply using AI, where he would give each AI agent a personality, and that those personalities would be representative of the entire population, and then they can run simulations to figure out what will happen.
Yeah. Population wise.
Yeah, so like if I release this particular product, will the population like it or not? And they will run the simulation, and they will literally look at what these AIs say to each other and then come up with a consensus. Yeah, this product will be a flop because most of the people didn't like it, even across many different personality types. So it was called Miro Fish, and it became immediately popular with traders and others. There's some stock traders that have it simulate a big crowd of people, maybe 100,000, and then they will use it to see how the stock market would behave when changes occur, and that's how they pick their trades, and they make money off of it. So, well, the next step up was a Chinese lab that created a simulation of 1 billion people, and they're using it for their population. Well, a university here in the United States did the same thing, but for 8 billion people.
I think it's a good idea.
It's a good idea. And so they're using their 8 billion people simulation to test global situations such as, climate change and how that'll be affected by different initiatives and other things like that. But the thing is, I was surprised, though, is that it didn't get a lot of press. Because, when the Chinese came out, it was all over X. But here we have a U.S. university that's doing it. But I guess the important thing is they're doing it. And what that gives you is when you make a law, you could test how the law would work
Yeah.
by putting it in this simulation, have it simulate all the population of the country. And then they can come back and say, yes, it'll improve things or it'll make it worse. So I don't think it's going to be a very long time before it gets recognized that this is technology exists and can run cheaply, and then they start actually using it in government. And after you do that, I don't see it's a long stretch before AI is helping to write the laws that are put into place. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting when I saw it.